my two worlds are literally colliding into each other right now.
Yeah.
And I could not be more happy.
Yeah. When I was going to therapy, I need to get back into it.
Me too.
Yeah.
I thought that was really interesting, like how we look for the easiest, fastest way to get out of things.
I bought because he treats me all the time. I'm his little princess. So once in a while I got a treat, you know? So
Yes. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of That Good Vibe podcast. I'm Megan.
I'm Jordan.
And of course, we are very excited for you guys to be here today. Are you ready to get a little vulnerable and open?
No.
Me either.
But we're going to.
But we're going to.
For you guys. So
yeah, definitely for you guys.
brace yourselves.
And for us too.
That's
think
true.
Journaling out this topic really opened up a lot of things in myself that I am just ready to change.
Oh, for sure. Me too.
Let's break those bad habits.
We don't want to because we're like comfortable with doing those, but it's not good for us. So
yeah, and we know it's not good for us.
Yeah.
So, but before we dive into that, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Do you have anything else other than good?
I'm trying to think.
Well, we chatted a little bit before and you're like, nothing new.
No.
Just normal.
Nothing exciting. The one thing that was exciting though, on the way here, there was a car pulled over by a policeman on.
Please tell me this is not another
No,
potential
no,
dead body.
No, it's
okay.
Nobody almost died. It wasn't a car crash. Someone got pulled over by a policeman on a motorbike.
Oh,
A motorcycle.
So the motorbike was the police guy?
Yeah. Isn't that so funny? I just think that's hilarious.
That is
and
hilarious.
You know what it reminds me of is, have you ever seen Cat in the Hat? And how thing 1 and thing 2 are like steal this policeman's motorbike.
Oh my gosh.
And it's just them being crazy on their motor, and they're like, it was so
That's
funny.
what it
so
reminded
good.
you of?
Yeah.
Haha.
Just hilarious.
I always like to look and see what types of people are getting pulled over.
Yeah, I didn't, because sometimes I feel bad for them. So I just, once in a while I do, sometimes I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Other than that, your week was good?
No. One thing that's not terrible, but I found out that a man in his 60s that was living in our house that we're renting right now,
Okay.
who I think was like the builder of the house, and was there since like the sidewalks were wood.
Wow.
Yeah, like was there that long.
Wow.
He ended up falling down the stairs and dying in our house.
In the house?
In the house.
In the bottom of your stairs?
Yep, going downstairs. So, needless to say, I couldn't sleep last night.
Yeah, that would give me the heebie-jeebies.
But apparently he was a very kind and genuine man. So, that makes me feel good.
And if he was in his 90s, he lived a good life.
I think he was 60.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I don't know why I got 90.
I don't know.
Whatever. R.I.P., dude.
Yeah. Sad.
That's very
But I
sad.
haven't felt any like ghostly encounters or, stuff happening in our house. Like I feel very safe in our house in that way. So
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Actually, have you seen the Netflix show called Mindhunters?
Oh no.
Super, super good. So there's 2 seasons. Definitely leaves you on a cliffhanger. Last night we were Googling, when's the 3rd season coming out? It's not. There's going to be no 3rd season. So we're rather pissed. It's all about like serial killers and all that stuff. So of course we were in the murder mystery mood.
Yeah.
And we were like, well, we gotta keep watching.
Yeah.
So we watched the 2nd season of the Murdoch Mysteries.
I just saw that too.
Did you watch the 2nd season?
Yes.
The whole time you're like, he did it. It's so obvious he did it. But then at the very, very end, spoiler, I'm giving a spoiler right now to the show. They're like, there had to have been a second person there. And I'm like, that Eddie guy, he was there. 100% he was there.
It's so confusing because I just want to know why. Like the whole time, the whole series, like they didn't try to explain or come up with reasons why they would die. The mom and the kid would die.
If you watch it from the very beginning to the very end and you just really focus only on the dad, just only focus on his story, you will find that before the boating accident, he was starting to be questioned by coworkers about like laundering money and stealing money from that lawyer's office that has been in the Murdoch family for years and years and years, right? So everyone's like, we need to get Alec out of here. He was fighting with other lawyers to keep him there. Then his son had this accident and ended up killing that girl
on the boat.
Boat. So then that incident kind of pushed his situation under the rug. Then a few years goes by and no one's feeling settled after that boating accident because the boy never got into trouble. He never had to pay any time or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's like, you were drinking and driving a boat and someone died. That's a type of manslaughter.
100%.
You should be paying your time for that. So people are pissed off about that. Then people kept continuing asking him about the laundering money and all this like sketchy stuff. The wife even had conversations with the maid, and the maid was like, yeah, she felt like there was some sketchy things going on. So I feel like his life was literally falling apart in front of him, and he didn't know what to do. And maybe his wife and son were starting to challenge him a bit more and ask questions about what's going on. And in his mind, he thought the only solution to this problem is to make them go away.
And he was into drugs too, right? Like,
big time.
Yeah, so
big time.
that
Anyways,
played a big
the
part.
whole thing is just like, I had the heebie-jeebies last night. I couldn't really sleep because I'm just like, how could someone just blatantly kill their wife and their son? And you look at him and it's like, you see no emotion.
No, exactly.
But I'm like, I think he was just gone.
Yeah.
He was just not, there was no one there.
Yeah.
So anyways, heebie-jeebies, that's what we watched last night.
Yeah, I couldn't really sleep last night either, thinking about.
You know, it's a full moon tonight.
Oh.
So I feel like that is going to be an effect.
Interesting.
On why we couldn't sleep.
Okay, on another note, just to like totally switch things up, have you seen those videos now that are girlfriends asking their boyfriends about, or
the
not
Roman
asking?
Empire?
No, okay, so that's okay. Funny too, but also about Travis Kelce being like, you know, he's like, how is he, or
he's on the map.
No,
she put him on the map.
No. Like they're like telling their boyfriends that like Travis Kelce like wasn't that popular until Taylor Swift came in the picture and made him popular, and then the boyfriends are like, but he won like 2
Super Bowls.
Yeah. And
he's like a top tight end.
And it's just funny how like the boyfriends are getting so mad about the girlfriends being like, but
he wasn't so comical.
Yeah.
So this is actually on my weekly fave, and let's dive into this a little bit because my two worlds are literally colliding into each other right now, and I could not be more happy. This is like a dream come true for me. Taylor Swift and football in the same room of conversation. I'm dying. I'm literally
it's
dying.
Funny now, like people are also like coming out with like the new Taylor Swift songs about Travis Kelce.
Oh my God, they're hilarious. So Travis Kelce and his brother Jason Kelce. Jason Kelce plays on the Philadelphia Eagles. He's his older brother. And they actually played in a Super Bowl together. And that was it was like Kelce versus Kelce.
Oh.
Was the big thing. Anyways, they have a podcast together called New Heights where they talk about football and all these things. And of course, Monday, they recorded a new episode of New Heights. They currently have 1.5 million views on that and just broke their millionth subscriber on YouTube.
Wow, of course.
Travis Kelce's jersey sales have gone up 86%.
Oh, for sure.
He has gained over 300,000 Instagram followers. The NFL on their Twitter page changed it NFL in brackets Taylor's version.
Oh, yes, I saw that.
It was so funny. But I wanted to watch the episode because I wanted to obviously hear what he had to say.
Right.
They get into it.
They do.
Not like super deep, but I have to say, what a gentleman. He was so kind about the words he chose. He said that everyone in the room, including his mother, had nothing but nice and genuine things to say. She genuinely listened to what they had to say. Like, we all know that. We know that Taylor is a nice person.
The most genuine person ever.
She really, really is. So that was nice. And apparently they all knew she was coming beforehand. it made it seem like that no one had any idea. But the Kelces knew, Mama Kelce knew that she was coming. Okay, so they did that. After, they left together.
Mm-hmm.
And what the Swifties are freaking out about right now is they left in his purple convertible car.
Oh.
It is the cutest thing to watch them drive off together. He rented out an entire restaurant to just have dinner with the two of them.
And he
So
said that? Did he say that? Or that's just...
That wasn't on the podcast, but
Oh.
that was a reputable source said that that's what they did.
Okay.
On there, all he said was, it was a great time. I don't want this to be my personality. On this podcast, we talk about football.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's cute, though.
I'm going to respect my privacy, her privacy, all these things. Never said that they were dating and nothing like that, because I still think it's new. They're still trying to figure out what's happening. But here is one of the little clues that I thought was so cool. Did you see the outfit he was wearing when he left? That white and blue type suit.
I don't remember.
Okay, so it kind of looks like clouds.
Oh.
Like it's a sky blue with white pants and a jacket, and it's cloud. The suit is called the 1989.
Oh.
They're both born in 1989. Her album is white and blue, and it's 1989.
Oh my gosh, of course.
I have been eating this up.
Of course,
Eating it up.
Yeah.
Like it's past the dinner, and I'm just...
Oh my God.
I seriously can't get enough. So I know when this podcast episode comes out, we might be a little late to the game of what's happening in the Swiftie Kelce world, but I had to put my 2 cents out there.
Mm-hmm. There might be some new stuff, so
I am
coming out.
I am just, yeah.
Just different things they do together.
It is just hysterical, the non-football girls that are like, what's it down? What's
yeah.
So Travis and Jason did a little segment of 101 NFL basics, teaching girls or guys that don't know anything about it. They're like, well, we need to know about football now, because if Taylor starts singing about football, we need to know what this means. Personally, it's like, oh God, here we go. I'm glad that I was a part of both worlds before they crashed in together.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my Taylor news. And I'm just like, get married, have babies, do all the things. Just, he is so attractive.
He is pretty cute.
Oh,
it's pretty cute.
Yeah, he's very attractive. Okay, I digress.
I had one more thing to say, but I can't remember it now.
Is it on your notes?
Nope.
Oh, okay. It'll come to you in the most inconvenient time.
Yep.
Bling.
Most likely.
Okay, my second favorite. Went to Winnipeg with my mom, grandma, and auntie, and we had so much fun together. First of all, the drive over there, the fall colors were in like peak form. So it was really adorable. We stayed in this Airbnb. So it was actually a house, and then we rented out the bedrooms. So there was like all these different bedrooms. So there was another couple there and an older lady, and then we stayed in this person's home, which was kind of cool. Really cheap, actually.
Oh, yeah.
A cheap way to do it. But you're never there, so it's like, why not do that?
Right.
So we did that, stayed in the hot tub. But my favorite, it's called Therma Spa. They have a Nordic spa over there where they've got cold plunges, hot tubs, really hot tubs, and like 7 different kinds of saunas.
That's a lot.
No, it was the coolest thing I've ever been to in my entire life. I'm like 10 out of 10 recommend. Everyone must go. It was phenomenal.
Like, would you say for like a couple's trip?
Perfect for a couple's trip.
Really?
Because there's a little restaurant, and there's massages and facials and foot rubs and all these different spa type things. But they really specialize in the saunas and the cold plunge. So they have 2 different cold plunges. One, it's like a little pool that just goes up to your knee, and it has a waterfall that comes down. And then the second one it's deep. Oh. And I went in both of them multiple times.
Wow, good for you.
I felt alive coming out of that.
Yeah.
It was great. I even, one time, so first I'm just like, just trying to get across as fast as I can. The one time I go in, I'm like breathing, lots of big, deep breaths, and I stood in the middle. For 5 seconds, I just treaded water. Just keep breathing, just breathe and then get out. But honestly, when you're in the cold, it's like, oh, it's really not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's when you get out,
Right.
you start to feel the sting and tingling.
And pain, and you just hate your life. But you also feel like so refreshed.
You feel so alive. And it's all outside.
Oh.
And they do it 365 days a year.
Wow, that's cool.
I'm like, to go there in a blizzard? No thanks.
No.
But definitely look into that for like a future weekend, little girls weekend. It is just blissful. And then IKEA. We did IKEA.
Oh, yes. What'd you buy?
What did I buy? Just like little trinkety things and a wine opener because I don't have one, and towels.
Wow, you need those. You need all those. So.
Just simple.
Yeah.
And I ended up buying shoes. And when we got back to the Airbnb, everyone's trying on their clothes and showing what they got. And I had 2 right foot.
Oh.
I was like, oh, that sucks. So I returned them and whatever. But I got a bunch of other cute stuff.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah, very happy. So
next time you go shopping for shoes, make sure you have the left and the right.
Well, he checked the size 8, size 8. Yep, good to go.
So both of you are dumb.
But apparently, no, it's his fault, not my fault. But those are my favorites. Do you have any other faves?
Nope, I have no favorites this week. I'm so uninteresting this week.
Just so uninteresting. Oh,
but let's do the check-in.
Self-care check-in. Yeah.
So last week mine was like no spending money. I just said like, and the other one was stop saying like.
Ding, 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 ding.
Frick my life.
So how did the no spending go?
I spent some money on groceries, but that was a necessity, so it's fine. And then me and Nick went out for coffee the one day, and I bought, because he treats me all the time. I'm his little princess, so once in a while I got a treat, you know? So
yes, absolutely.
I bought us $10 worth of coffee and cookie.
Yum. Yummy.
And I mean, I'm trying to be better at stopping saying like, but it's just...
Do you find it's only in this situation or in your everyday life that you're saying like?
Every day, all day, 24/7. Yeah.
So now you're really hyper focusing on it.
Yeah.
Hey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that just happens. I say so. Like it's just those filler words.
Yeah. I notice it the past like 15 minutes we've been here. I'm saying, right. Oh, exactly. I say right, exactly. Like,
or uh-huh.
Or
Whatever. We can't be too critical on ourselves.
You're
You're right.
You're right.
It's fine. Well,
see, I literally
whatever. You're doing
said,
just fine.
Right. And then I was like, you're right.
Okay, well, great job on the no spending. I feel like groceries absolutely necessity. Going for a coffee with your man and paying for that. That's so
but
minuscule.
Also, okay, so this episode's a little bit behind your birthday, because
this one's coming out.
Like I'm trying to say is like we're going out for your birthday this weekend,
but this is 2 weeks behind.
2 weeks behind.
So
yes.
2 weeks from the day that you're listening to this is today.
And
that
so
makes sense.
Yeah. Anyways, so I don't know what I'm wearing. I have nothing nice to wear and I want to dress up, and so we might go spend some money on some pants.
Some nice little pants.
We'll see. All I have is skinny jeans and sweatpants and leggings, and I want some of those like, what are they called, with like the pocket on the side,
cargo pants?
Yes,
those are really in style right now.
And then I just want like a nice cute top to wear with it, and then I don't know what to wear for shoes, or I'll dress it up somehow, but I do want some of those pants just for in general.
Yeah, go to like Winners and Marshalls first, see what you can find there, and then if not, try like Garage.
Yeah, okay.
Because Garage is very like Gen Z.
Yeah, you're right.
And I feel like that's where the clothes are coming back in.
I just hate going to the mall. I hate it. It's just, it's weird. There's weird people. It's gross.
I would agree with you there.
What are you doing during the day on your birthday?
I'm going to get a tattoo.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Fuck,
I can't wait.
Oh, yeah. That'll be awesome.
I'm very excited. So my aunt and I are getting matching tattoos together. Just going to be so cute and adorable. I'm nervous about the placement. It's going on my wrist, and I get really weird about needles. even tattoos, like I can't watch the tattoo happening or else I get like really faint and I feel like I'm going to pass out. So I'm nervous about the placement, but I've had tattoos, like I've been through a 3-hour tattoo. This is not going to be that. Like,
can you take a gravel?
You can, but it's more like my blood sugar. It's not like being nauseous.
Oh, I see.
It's just I get like so lightheaded. So I'm going to just drink some orange juice and crackers and stuff before I go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll do it first and it'll be fine. Honestly, it's not the end of the world.
And it's going to be worth it because it's going to be so cute.
It's going to look so cute.
So cute.
I cannot wait. Okay, my self-care challenge was to create a new vision board.
Oh.
And I did, and I absolutely love it. It took me forever to do. I was like 20 minutes tops. Nope, hour and a half.
Did you do it on Canva?
I did do it on Canva.
Nice.
So I went to Pinterest. First, I took a sticky note and wrote down like areas or topics that I wanted on my board to make sure that I didn't miss anything. Like I wanted a screenshot of my bank account, and then I just changed the numbers to like these large numbers to help manifest that.
Mm-hmm.
I want traveling and hiking, food, fitness, and then I always put like my dog and my friends and my family on there to just always still manifest that those relationships keep flourishing and growing. So I put that on there. Yeah.
Because I definitely saw a picture of me on there, and it was
Yeah.
just so heartwarming.
You were on there. And yeah, it was just, I really enjoyed putting it together.
It's nice to have it all like come together and you can look at it whenever. Like, is it the background on your computer?
It is.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm very, very happy with how it turned out. The last one was all just like Pinterest images, but this time I used some personal images.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Like I still have podcasting and video editing, but this time I used my own personal photos.
I love that. Yeah.
To just still continue. Like sometimes you don't want to manifest new things. You just want to manifest the current area of your life to just keep getting better.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
that's
it's just a reminder of that every time you open your computer.
Yeah. So, and this decade is all about me and what I want and what's going to make me happy. And that's kind of what I was going for. So I'm very happy I did that. Yeah. Okay, are you ready to get into it?
Okay, let's get into it.
What do we got here? What makes a habit bad?
One of the big things I think is when it stops you from being productive, like going to work, being productive at work, not keeping up with your relationships, like friends and family.
That's a huge one.
Yeah, like when it's just impeding in your life, or
sleep, nutrition,
and it's
water.
making you unhealthy.
Yeah.
All of those things I think are just huge indicators of a bad habit.
Absolutely. So what I found here is a habit is always the same 3 motions. There is a cue, a response, and a reward. That is the cycle that we go through. So cue, it's time for me to do my habit. Response is the actual habit, and the reward is the feeling that you get within your body. So oftentimes with bad habits, the cue starts off, most of the time it's an emotional cue. So an emotional cue could be someone said something and it pissed you off. You're feeling stressed in your life. The drive home was really stressful. You burnt your chicken. Something went wrong, which cued this negative emotion. The response would be that you usually, when you feel stressed out, is I'm going to isolate myself. I'm going to drink a glass of wine. I'm going to scroll on my phone for hours and hours.
Yep.
So that is the response. And the reward is I no longer feel that emotion.
That bad emotion.
So even if the reward is feeling 1% less stress than you felt prior to the response, that is already enough to solidify that habit in your brain. So it doesn't have to be a giant. Like you could still be super, super angry, go smoke a joint, come back and still feel super, super angry.
Oh, 100%.
But you just feel 1% less angry. That has cued into you that that action will help with that response. So you can see how the cycle just loops and loops and loops. So
But
that is
then-
what creates the
Then
bad
you
habit.
feel guilty
Yes.
after all of that.
Yes, and I do have that in here. Yes, so going off with like your guilty. So you've done your cycle. You feel 1% less of that emotion that you felt before. But this rush of guilt or negative self-talk or intrusive thoughts fill you up, which then cues the same emotion again, creating this same vicious cycle
Yep.
over and over and over again. And we're going to get into how to demolish that habit, which feels absolutely impossible. But step 1 is you have to learn that little cycle.
You have to learn. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly that. Yep.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. You got to learn that. Cut that out.
Gauntlet down. So we're going to share with you a few of our bad habits. Before we do this, I want you guys to know that going into this episode, I was actually really afraid I feel already like an emotion coming up for me right now. I feel scared to admit these things publicly. I've talked to them with you on a personal basis, family, like the people in my life.
You got it right the first time.
Thanks. People in my life know the things that I struggle with and the bad habits that I do, and I know what they are. But I think there comes a different feeling when you're just like opening it up to the world.
Yes, and actually admitting them.
To let people judge you and all these things.
Yeah.
And there's going to be someone out there that thinks that our bad habits are your normal habits, and that's perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's to each their own. So please come to us with open arms and open hearts, and just understand that we are two vulnerable people just trying to be better. And yeah, that's
well
what I got
said.
there. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
Sure, I can go first. I have a couple. I don't have the best relationship with food. I used to be very good at having a diet. That's a bad word. Just watching what I ate, and then also like going to the gym and working out lots. But now I think that turned during COVID when you had to wear masks at the gym, and I was like, wearing masks while you're working out is not fun. That is just not something I wanted to do. So then I quit going to the gym, and then that's when I kind of just like ate whenever, whatever. And yeah, I haven't had the best relationship with food in the past couple years. And like this segues into my next bad habit is spending money. Spending money on greasy, like good greasy food, but not healthy.
Some like McDonald's and A&W.
Yeah, it's just so good. And like a lot of times, like we know Nick works out of town. He's only home every 17 days. So when he's home, we like to indulge. And I want to have a better relationship with maybe like once or twice a week, or like 2 days a week, actually being able to eat whatever. And then the rest of the week kind of like being more stable and healthy and watching what I ate.
Just being more aware of what you're eating. And with that, feeling good emotionally. Because mentally you might be like, if I cook food at home, like I'm doing good, I'm saving money, and I'm eating healthier. But emotionally, it's not fulfilling that need. That's not the reward that you're looking for.
Right, exactly. Another thing is I'm gluten and dairy sensitive. I have a hard time with saying no to a lot of foods when I'm out, like hanging out with friends and family and at my parents' house, or just out doing whatever, and someone offers me some cookies or like a sandwich with like a bunch of cheese on it. Like I can't say no. It just looks so good, and it's very hard for me to say no. So I think that's when maybe those like 2 days a week would allow me to kind of indulge a bit. So I have to kind of figure out how to navigate it.
And as we go through how to demolish it and stuff like that, maybe that can help cue to you, okay, it's time for me to learn What's my cue?
Yeah.
What's my response?
Yeah.
What's my reward? What out of those 3 things can I change?
Right.
How do I change this? So
We'll get to that.
we'll get to that. Do you have any more? Do you want me to read some
Well,
of mine?
And then, yeah, I was just going to say, like, spending money is very hard. Like, being a girl is hard.
It's so hard.
Like, we need so much. We need to buy so much. And, like, by need, I just mean, like, hair care and skin care and makeup and clothes. And
it's period care.
Well, yeah,
and,
that too.
like, oh, my
Yes.
gosh.
But then, like, not only that, it's like now it's fall. And I'm like, oh, I need new fall sweaters and knit sweaters and scarves and a new winter jacket. And
yeah. And new winter boots. I need new winter boots so bad. But every winter, I'm like, one more winter.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah.
Just one more winter.
Oh, this is another thing is like I'm really bad with like I'd be like that where I'd be like, okay, like you can like have that money, like save that money, like wear your winter boots for another year. But then in my head I'd be like, oh well, since I'm saving money because I'm not buying new winter boots, I can buy a new jacket.
Girl math.
Yeah, exactly. Like so I need to get away from that mindset.
Yeah, I agree. So I have a few here. I kind of like dove deep into my dark depths of habits. So the first one, I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid off and admit it out here. And I'm not going to talk about it a whole lot because it's not something that I want to talk about a whole lot.
Okay.
But I smoke weed on a regular basis and not in a healthy way. I don't love admitting this online, but I do. There's a piece of me inside that just feels it's okay. It's normal. Like smoking a joint and having a glass of wine in my mind are like the 2 equivalent things. And yet people can have a glass of wine and it's like socially acceptable.
Right.
But smoking a joint for some reason is still not quite socially acceptable. And maybe that's me, myself, and my own internal things. But I don't care. I enjoy it. I have fun with it. I do it socially with my friends. The issue that I have with it is I'm home. It is a Wednesday night and I'm bored.
Oh, yes.
Or I had a shitty day at work, or I'm feeling really emotional. I'm just going to go smoke.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that that's not a healthy place to be. So that's all I'm going to say on that. And I'm going to continue on with the rest of my habits.
Okay.
Okay. Second one I have is choosing to stay in a negative headspace.
Oh.
Sometimes when I get really hard on myself, or I'm just like sucked in this like, so-and-so pissed me off, I know what would make me feel better is to go outside and go for a walk. I know that that's the solution to half of my problems, yet I refuse to. And I just don't. And I will
We're
be
gonna
like,
talk about that later, like why we do things that
Yeah.
we know, or why don't we do the like healthy things that what?
yeah. Why do we do the bad things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or why don't we do the good things?
Mm-hmm. So that's one thing is I just sometimes choose to be like, I'm just going to be here. I'm going to go to bed and tomorrow's a new day. It's like, why can't the next hour be a new hour? Why can't you choose to let it go now? So that's one thing. With that being stuck in the past, I had a conversation with my mom the other day about looking forward to the future. And every time we talk, I'm like, yeah, reflect back to the past and look at where I am now and the past and am now and all the growth I did from point A to point B. And she said, sometimes you just have to let the past go. Let it be what it was. Look as now point A and your future is point B and all the opportunities you have in the future.
Oh, for sure. That's the best mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's something, that's a bad habit that I do, like mentally. Okay, I got 2 more.
Oh, you really went in.
I really dove deep. Yeah. Skipping workouts because I just don't feel like it.
So many people are going to relate.
Yeah. Like, again, you can see how they all kind of like link together. It's the second I'm in like a sour mindset, nothing else matters.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, meh, I'm just going to.
Even though you know it might make you feel better, or it will make you feel better.
I know it will, but
Yeah.
sometimes my bitterness is just like, nope, I'm going to stay right here and someone else can solve this problem for me.
Yeah.
Not cool. Okay, last two is the same one as you for one of them, spending money. So the way I spend money sometimes is I go into it with this mindset of like, oh, well, I only live once.
Oh.
Or it's for the memories. It's for the good times. All my friends are going to this event. Sure.
Yeah.
Why not? Like, yes, I still pay my bills, but it's like I'm just using more debt to pay for these fun events. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sick of doing that. I'm just sick and tired of doing it. You're going to survive if you miss out on that thing. And the last bad habit I have is I am addicted to my phone. Literally addicted to it. I need to get work done. Let's just open Instagram and see what's happening over there.
Yeah.
Let's open Pinterest and emails.
Yeah.
What, did you miss an email? What about Snapchat? Did you miss a snap? It's so infuriating how addicted I am.
But it's because our lives just revolve around it nowadays.
They do.
Like, yeah.
And it's like, if someone needs to get a hold of me, they will. And if you don't respond to them for 3 hours, they're going to live and you're going to live.
Yeah.
Like, it's really not that big of a deal. But anyways, I spend way too much time on my phone and I get easily distracted by my phone. So that's a bad habit. But I tried not to get too hard on myself when I was digging deep into these, because it's like I am aware on the surface that these are some areas in my life that I want to change. But I'm not getting like, you need to change them right now or you're such a terrible person.
No, you're
like,
not a terrible
no,
person.
You're fine.
Yes.
Everybody has these habits in life that they want to change.
Totally.
So
should we
get into how to demolish these?
Yes.
Okay, what you got, girl?
I think the first step is to sit yourself down and think about all the things you do in the day and write down what you think are bad habits, what you feel guilty about when you do them. Because you know that these habits develop for a reason. So we need to figure out why. Was it something that happened in your childhood? Was it something that your parents taught you or that your friends do? You need to sit down and write this all out. Even type it on your phone in your notes, but have it clear cut for reasons why. You want to find some people that can support you, that are maybe going through the same thing, whether that be friends or family.
Support group.
Yes.
Like, this is an extreme example, obviously, but like Alcoholics Anonymous.
Yeah.
Like,
for sure.
There is a support group for literally everything. Go on Facebook, type group for blank. You'll find something.
Oh yeah. And then another thing is to track your bad habits, or better yet, to track your good habits.
Yes.
Because you want to be replacing these bad habits with good habits. So it was like, I think episode like 3 or 4 or something when we talked about habits in general.
Yes.
And I had a link for my habit tracker that I use.
Yes.
And you can click off the boxes. Like, it's super simple. We'll link that down below again. And I love it. I use it every day. And I use it for like my workout and fitness and health. And then I also use it for just like regular habits that I like to accomplish, like meditating. What are some other ones on there? Oh, not spending money.
Yeah. It's good to be able to track to see the progress that you're making and help shift those negative habits into the positive habits.
Oh, yes. It's definitely nice to see. And then you have to have just some patience. Like, it's not going to change tomorrow.
Yes.
But slowly but surely. And then I already kind of said this, but replacing your bad habits with something good. I have this thing that when I was going to therapy, I need to get back into it.
Me too.
Yeah. But she had talked about grounding.
Yes, I love grounding.
So, yes. There's 3 different kinds. And this is going to be when like you want to do your bad habit, but you shouldn't. And this can kind of be something that makes you feel good and kind of like washes away that thought in your mind that makes you want to do that habit. So there's 3 different. There's mental, physical, and soothing. And then I'll just also say that grounding is basically taking control over your emotions, and it anchors you to the present. Like, it makes you feel present. You're not stressed about the future. You're not stressed about the past. You're just present. So mental would be, you can just sit there, do it in your head. You can write it out on your phone. Describing your environment in detail. Describe an everyday activity in great detail, like how you would cook a meal. You can also think about, like, say you're like envisioning you're sitting in front of a TV and you're changing the channel. And you can use humor, but don't make fun of yourself. Like, make jokes about little things in the environment,
but don't make yourself the brunt of the joke. It's okay to like bug yourself a little bit and like haha whatever, but don't just to the point where you're bullying yourself.
No, please don't do that.
Yeah.
And then there's physical. You could run your hands under cool or warm water. You could also carry a grounding object in your pocket, like, or even like there's rings that you can get, or just even simple rings. I play with my rings all the time when I'm
there's
like
anxiety
nervous.
rings
There's
out there where they have little balls that you can move around. Yeah.
So you can use that. You can also carry like something little in your pocket to just like always play with.
Crystals.
So there you go.
I, for the longest time, carried tiger's eye, rose quartz, and clear quartz.
Really?
So tiger's eye is meant to be like an eye that watches out for your surroundings and like creates a protective barrier.
Wow.
Rose quartz always attracts like love and abundance into your life. And then clear quartz exudes like positive stuff and just is like a clean filter for yourself.
That's cool. I need to learn more about
crystals. Are super, super, super cool.
Yeah. And then you could also, like cleanse and release your fists. These are just little things to do, to just like kind of make you distract yourself.
Yeah.
And then you can also focus on your breathing, do a little meditation right there. And then there's the last one. The last category is soothing. So you can say some kind statements to yourself. Think of some of your favorites. Picture people you care about. Remember the words to an inspiring quote. Remember a safe place. And then the last thing is just think of things to look forward to.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
So all of those examples are ways to kind of help like calm you down.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you're feeling so heightened in frustrations that those are just like, what a joke. Like that's not going to happen. So sometimes you just got to grab a pillow and scream your bloody head off into it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you need to physically punch a pillow.
Yeah.
Go to a boxing class, run on a treadmill.
Get that energy out.
Actual physical exertion where your heart rate is elevated and you're breathing really, really heavy is going to physically take that emotion and push it out of your body.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, all those examples are great when you're just like, okay, I know I'm about to do a bad habit. Kate, let's try to distract ourselves with something else. But sometimes the emotions are just too big and too heavy.
Oh, totally. And everyone's different. So that's why we wanted to give some different aspects. But
so this is what I have on how to demolish a bad habit. So remember I said cue, response, reward. Those are the 3 actions.
Correct.
To all habits, good or bad. Everything we do in a day-to-day. You open your eyes, your cue is to pull the blanket off and put your feet on the ground. You get what I'm trying to say.
Mine is to go straight to the coffee maker and turn it on.
You're still half asleep. Zombie mode. So, like Jordan said, journal out all those habits. So you're going to journal out all the habits. Next to the habit, you're going to try to journal what the cue is that you do prior to that habit. Then you would write what the reward is that you receive from that habit. That's going to be really, really, really hard to do. Like that's one of those things that you got to dig deep down to figure out. And if you remember last episode, I talked about ask yourself why. Keep asking yourself why until you find the answer. That's a great exercise for this. Why do I do that? Well, I don't know. Well, you're going to have to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
So
figure it out.
Figure it out. Get your shit together. So once you have found the trigger or the cue, and remember, often those are linked to an emotion that we feel. So try to figure out what is that emotion that I'm feeling and what am I physically doing that would create that emotion? That's step one. Then you're going to do your very best to try to remove that trigger, which may not necessarily always be an easy way. Maybe it's after I eat this type of food, I start to feel this way. Or after I visit this person, then I start to feel this way. Or my drive home with work always has construction, so I feel frustrated. Those, maybe don't see this person as often. Don't eat that food. Find a different way to drive home. That's an easy way to change that trigger or cue. Sometimes it's not very easy. So if you have to change the action that you're taking, that's the hardest part. And that is when you are going to do the exercises that Jordan said, where you're going to try to distract yourself with something else other than that habit. And then the third one is to find something where the reward outweighs the other reward. Sometimes the reason that we do bad habits is because the effort put in and the reward received back, that ratio versus the effort put in for a good habit and the reward back doesn't match. We are subconsciously programmed to always pick the easiest, fastest, and safest way out of a situation.
Oh, for sure.
So that's often why we get sucked into bad habits, and often why we don't want to put the effort into things, because why would I put 10 times the effort in to only get 2% of my reward back? But the part that we're missing is the longevity of it. So if you keep doing these small amounts of effort, medium amount of reward, over time, you're going to get nowhere. Whereas if you put large amounts of effort with small amounts of reward, over time, that effort is going to come down and the reward is going to go up, causing you to change in your brain that, oh, cue, I'm frustrated. Reward, response, I go and work out. Reward, I feel better and I've grown my muscles. That over time becomes much, much easier.
Oh, yeah.
Does that all make sense? I thought that was really interesting, like how we look for the easiest, fastest way to get out of things. And often that is just suppressing the emotion, doing the bad habit, feeling guilty, and going to bed and just whatever. Yeah.
It's so bad.
Very, very interesting stuff. So
it's not a life to live. Like,
no.
Especially when you're doing those bad habits, like say smoking cigarettes, you know it's bad for your health. And you know how long you live is just not going to be great. Your health is going to decline. Like, all these things are just so bad for you. And a lot of people just don't care, and they're just not going to see it until it actually happens. But
yeah,
doing these bad habits like often and more often and over like 10 years time, 20 years time, 30 years time, it's not a life to live.
Exactly. So let's answer the question, why do we do bad habits? Why do humans constantly keep searching for bad habits? Why do we talk to people that are bad for us? Why do we choose to smoke cigarettes or
because it's
eat
comfort.
Greasy food? Yes.
It's comfort. We know how to do these things. It's not out of our comfort zone. We don't have to try very hard.
And that goes back to what I just said about effort to reward ratio. When you don't really have to try, yet you get a little tiny reward out of it, it's worth it. If I could do everything for free or get things for free, then I would. So that's why we choose to not put the effort in for the hard things.
And we rationalize too, because we see all these other people doing the same bad habit, like smoking cigarettes.
Let's use a great example that we can both relate to when it comes to impulsive buying and spending extra money. The amount of times I've rationalized to myself that I need a new backpack for this trip because it's going to carry all of my gadgets and gadgets in there, when I already have a backpack.
When you bought
in
that,
my closet.
You know, I was about to call you out when you bought that and showed me it. I didn't.
I did. No, and I know. And it's like, you have to find that fine line in your life of yes, we're humans. We're allowed to indulge ourselves. We're also grown women that make our own money. Why can't we spend our money on things? But there's that just tiny little fine line that you have to figure out, okay, is this a need or is it like a need? Is it a want or is it I just want to have this because it makes my ego feel good?
Yeah. Well, and I've said it before that I have a budget. I have my necessities and then I have extras, which would be like birthdays and like celebrations or like holidays or whatever that I need to get stuff for. So I literally write everything down. Everything I buy, I write in there. And it's on my computer. It's on Google Sheets. I can link that below too. But on the side, I think I need to like lay it all out for me that like this is my debt and this is how much monthly I'd like to put on my debt, and then kind of see it like somehow like the total. I don't know. I have to do it some way that I can like see the total at zero.
How long it would take you to get there.
Yeah, I have to have a plan in place. Like, so I think that's like my next step is to
I do that every once in a while. I take the grand total of my debt everywhere it would be, and I put, okay, these are the minimum payments that they're asking for and how long is it going to take me? And when I look at that, I'm just like, when I'm dead, really? Obviously, I'm making payments that are much greater than minimum payments. But even when I change that number to see, okay, so I'm currently putting in X amount of dollars. That's what I can afford. How long is that going to take me? And it's still just like, oh.
It's going to take a while, but it's going to feel so fucking good when it's paid off. And it like, I just can't wait.
The important thing, we're not giving financial advice here.
No,
it's just tips on this topic. But something to do is when you're creating your budget and you're trying to pay off debt, budget in there the money that you would be spending in those 2 weeks or month if you're paid monthly. So I always allocate to myself $100 is what I have to spend on whatever I want. $100 doesn't go very far these days. And that's half the problem is I'm trying to be like, okay, well, I do need to pay off this debt, but I also still need to live and go out.
Yes. Yeah. So
that's my little side thing. But do you have anything else on bad habits?
I don't think so.
Let's do the self-care challenge first, and then we'll do a quick game. Because I think we have time.
Okay.
Because I think I want my self-care challenge today to go along with this bad habit.
Me too.
And I think one of my bad habits I want to shake is this mindset. I am a positive person, and I know when I talk to people, I'm very like, let's look on the bright side, let's find the opportunity, all these things. But just recently, I have been so spirally in my thoughts in like, what fucking direction am I supposed to go in my life? And I think one of my self-care challenges is to give myself grace, to allow myself that if you're getting sucked into the, oh my God, I'm panicking, what is my future looking like? What does society think of me? What does my family think of me? I'm a terrible person. I'm just getting so sucked into the what ifs of my future that I'm forgetting the life I currently have right now and how amazing my life is right now. So I think it's not like a tangible type self-care challenge, but I think I just want to be more intentional on my thoughts.
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I think mine would just be if I can do the same one as I did last time about the no spending. I would love to do that because I really need to get into a good routine with watching what I spend and only spending it on the necessity things and the things that I already have planned for and no more than that.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah, so I really just have to be better at that. So that's going to be that.
Did you budget for my birthday this weekend? Good
Do you
job.
want to know how much or no?
No.
Okay.
You spend your money.
Okay.
However you want to. My budget is $0. Actually, no, that's not true. I'm buying myself my cake and cupcakes because I'm buying those tomorrow. Yeah. Gotcha. I mean, I can't put everything on my man. That's just like a lot. And then he goes the other day, oh, I bought your birthday present. I'm like, I told you not to buy me a present.
Oh.
But it's like, Thanks.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what it is. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm really excited. Let's just try to like shake off this episode. That was like a lot. Right now. We're good people. We make good choices. Good people. The bad habits we do is just this tiny little blimp of our life.
For sure.
So, are you ready to play a quick round of our game?
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay, let's do it. Your brain's on?
Nope. We'll see how this goes.
Level 1 is perception. Do you think I intimidate other people? Why or why not?
No. Maybe. Actually, no. Okay, you don't, but I think you do, like, with your confidence a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, in a good way, though. In a good way.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah. Like, you're not, like, overpowering, like, in a bad way or anything. You're just confident, and I think that it kind of, like, I don't know, maybe rubs people to be like, oh, okay.
Sweet.
You know?
I love that.
Okay, yeah.
Thanks. For you, no, I don't think you intimidate people. I think you're just a very like down to earth person that everyone can relate to. Yeah. And you've always got an open ear to listen. Yeah. Which makes people feel comfortable around you. Yeah. Yeah.
Cute. Do I remind you of anyone?
Okay, that is so hard.
I know. I have a feeling. I feel like there was at one point that you reminded me of someone, but I can't remember now.
Off the tip of my tongue, no, I don't think you do. Yeah. Like, I think you've just always been your own. Like, you're your own being. But a lot of my friends I see as their own individuals. I'm not like, oh, you remind me of.
But like a celebrity or like someone in a TV show or movie or. Yeah. That's hard.
Mean, I don't know names of celebrities very well. I'm sure if I started to Google, I could find a celeb that looks similar to you and be like, okay, that's who you remind me of. But I'm sure your personalities are like two different spectrums. What a tough question.
That is tough. We'll have to come back to that because I'm sure
we're going to think about it. Yeah, we're going to think about it.
Number 2, connection. Wow.
Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
Okay, I'll go first just to get this over with. What is your first love's name and the reason you fell in love with him or her?
Oh, I love that question. Okay, my first love was my high school boyfriend, and his name was David.
Okay.
And we were together for 3 years, all through high school. And what was the second part? Why did I love him? Yeah. Because it was my first high school boyfriend. Yeah. Because I was like, boys, I like boys. He likes me. Yeah. You're supposed to tell them that you love each other. But then over time, I was like, wow, I think I do love this person. I think we've talked about this before. We had another question of like, what is love and what does love mean to you? Obviously, at 14, 15 years old, you don't really know what love is. You see his parents and my parents exude love. So him and I replicated that.
Was he from your hometown?
We went to the same high school, but he was from another small town.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And side note, he broke up with me over text messages.
Oh, no.
The day after my high school graduation.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's really sad.
It was awful. It was probably one of my first terrible breakups. And from that moment on, this could be a little toxic of me, and I'm very well aware that it is toxic, but I said, a man will never break up with me ever again. I will always break up with a man.
Well, you know in your gut if it's just not going well, and if they're not.
It was never going well. He tried to break up with me a few times, and I had an absolute meltdown, and he was like, okay, we can keep dating. So it's just young and stupidity is what it was. Who was your first love?
This is taking me really back, and I don't know if this is like my first love or I don't know. Okay, well, anyways, the one that comes to my mind is the guy that I dated in grade 12. And we dated for like 3 years. He was like a bad boy.
We all love a good bad boy.
And I don't know, we had so much fun together, and I don't remember a whole lot from that relationship.
Do you remember his name?
Yes, but I'm not going to say it.
Okay, that's fine. You don't remember a lot from the relationship?
I think I tried to block a lot out. He cheated on me. one thing. And I stayed with him. I was when I was younger, I was very naive.
Yes.
And so when he was begging for my forgiveness and begging to have me back and stuff, I was like, okay. Like, I didn't like it, but yeah. And then we stayed together, I think, for like a year after. And then that's when I broke up with him. But I just remember like that we did have fun together. And I think that was like the main reason why I loved him.
You loved him at the moment, but then looking back now, you're like, that wasn't like real.
It wasn't a good relationship at all. We fought all the time and not great.
Thank you to our exes for teaching us lessons. Okay. Here is one for you to dig deep in the soul.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not ready for this either. How can you become a better person?
A better person in general, like for myself, for other people?
Yourself. What a perfect theme for the topic today, though. Okay, I kind of have mine. Do you want me to go first and then?
Sure.
So mine is when I'm with my friends sometimes, I know I get a little like me, talk about me, and I need to try to like reel that back in.
I've never thought that though.
And try to listen to what they say and just be the listener for them and not always give advice. Yes, I love a podcast because that's what it's about. It's here's my perspective, let me give you advice, but I need to kind of reel that back when it comes to like just the friendship basic relationships with people. Yeah, I've noticed that about myself.
I've never noticed that about you, so that must feel good a little bit. You're just being hard on yourself, but as usual.
What else is new?
Can you read the question again?
How can you become a better person?
I guess I shouldn't be as hard on myself either. Like in social settings and talking to other people, like being in a group of people, I'm always like thinking about myself and I'm just having social anxiety. Like I don't want to say anything because I don't want to say anything stupid. And actually on TikTok this morning, I saw a video of Jordan Peterson. Do you know who that is?
Yes, I don't love him.
No.
He has the book, The 12 Rules of Life, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I just see like snippets of him everywhere, but this is the one thing that he said. When you're out in public and you're having social anxiety, don't think about yourself. Try to switch that and think about everyone else around you. And just don't think about anything about what you're doing, what you're thinking, like what you're feeling. Like just try to be like, oh, like this girl's wearing these type of pants and I like those. And this person's doing this with he's biting his nails like you. And this other person, like, you know, like just be observant. And that kind of lets the social anxiety float away. So I need to be more mindful about that.
That can also, by observing other people, open up some conversations to help alleviate that anxiety. Oh, yeah. Because, you know, once you start talking to a person and they're talking about themselves or asking questions about you, all of a sudden that anxiety tends to just go like flood away. So if you notice some girl, say she's got these really cool purple pants on and you're like, those are the funkiest things I've ever seen, go up to her and be like, wow, I love your pants. Where did you get those from?
And then the whole conversation will start.
Boom, it just goes. Or the example of biting nails. Oh, that guy's biting his nails. He must be feeling the same way that I'm feeling right now. So I'm not the only one.
Totally.
Yeah. I love Jordan Peterson?
Yeah.
I love his like general philosophies, but some of the things he says, I'm just a little like,
I haven't watched him enough to maybe feel like that about him. Like I haven't, like, does he have his own podcast? I don't even know.
No, he doesn't, but he goes on other people's podcasts.
Okay, yeah, that's what I saw this morning.
Yeah. I think I read one article about him one time and I was like,
Yeah.
So maybe I'll change my tune. Okay, level 3 is reflection.
If you could prescribe me one thing to do for the rest of this month, what would it be and why?
Ooh.
Prescribe me one thing.
Sometimes do you find it's hard to like 1 minute put the mirror up to yourself and then the next minute we're trying to look at each other?
Yeah.
Like we're both battling the same things right now. Yeah. I I think I'll just agree with what you said about how to be a better person. Like, try to be kinder to yourself in those social settings. And a great example is going to be this weekend at my birthday.
True.
Like, yes, you know quite a few people that are going to be there, but there's going to be some people that you've never met before. And being the, like, I don't know how to word it, but like, you're meeting new people. Just remember that they're meeting you too as a new person. They've never met you either. So you just go into it with this like extra happy, like, oh my gosh, tell me about you. Yeah. What do you do? I love your shirt, blah, blah, blah. How do you know Megan? Like that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good way to think about it.
So that's what I'll prescribe you is on Saturday.
I'm going to prescribe you anxiety meds.
Please. Seriously. Overthinking weed medication.
Yeah. Yeah. Overthinking medication. There we go. Yeah. Yeah.
It's so crazy. You came over today. You're like, hi, how are you? And it's just like, bleh. And it's always the same blah right now. And I know this will pass. Like, talking about trying to be a better person, I've been reflecting this past week of like, God, Megan, you're just putting your shit on other people. Like, you got to figure your shit out and stop putting it on other people. Like, sometimes they don't give a shit that you're still dealing with the same problem over and over. And I know my friends love me, and I know you love me, and I know everyone is there for me. But at some point, those things have to change, and the friendship needs to no longer be therapy type. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, but I also think you're just being like a little hard on yourself, because like we all like to vent to our friends sometimes. Yeah. And I don't feel like annoyed that you're saying the same stuff over and over again. So don't worry.
Thank you. Woo.
Yeah, like, yeah, you're good.
So
you're good.
I need anxiety pills, overthinking pills, and being hard on myself pills.
Exactly.
Got it.
Yeah.
I'll go to the pharmacy later.
Good.
Kate, one more.
Yeah.
What do you think I should know about myself, perhaps that I'm unaware of?
I feel like we've done something like that.
What I'm finding from this game is they're all super, super similar.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll have to find a new game.
Yeah. Or what I was thinking, we need to do like questions of the week.
Questions. Sorry for your ears, guys. That's a great idea.
Right? I think that would be maybe fun to do in place of this game. This game is fun, but we always dig deep in ourselves just with every episode, and then we dig more deep with this game. So it'd be nice to kind of change it up. And
yes.
So get your questions ready.
If you guys want to ask us questions, YouTube down in the comment section, we will collect all those. And Instagram, once a week, we will create something on our stories for you guys to submit questions.
On Spotify at the bottom, you can do
submit questions.
Yes.
So there's 3 places to submit questions. You can give us scenarios in your life. They were all 100% anonymous. We will not share your name to the world. And I think that would be really, really fun.
Let's do it.
Let's frickin' do it.
Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Thank you guys for watching today's episode and getting a little vulnerable with us. We really, really appreciate it. Like, subscribe, comment, share, all the freaking things. We love watching our community grow.
Yes. And thank you guys for watching and listening. Did you say that already?
I did, but you can say it too. It's fun. Okay, bye.
Bye.